Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to today's stream. Where do we even begin? That's the biggest question. Address your drama. So the thing is, I didn't even know there was drama until Barry DM'd me. Barry DM'd me. It was like, oh my god, bro, I made a video of you getting flamed, and he sent me a tweet. So I opened that tweet and I replied to it, and I made lunch. And then Stu messaged me, was like, yo, I made a video on your situation. And I'm like, okay, that's cool. He sent me a link to the video. And so I was playing the video, like the first 5 seconds. And then my roommates heard, oh my God, Btmc situation is crazy. And then I spent like an hour talking with my roommates of like what I think I did. And then like what the situation was. That's fascinating, dude. That's crazy. But anyways, chat, let's take a look. Where do we even begin? People are really upset that you talk shit and they think their opinion on this situation matters. I think that's valid. All right, let's see what's on r/osu game. Maybe there's a post on r/osu game. Can we talk about Btmc reaction to toromivana's elements and Tail of Fire? Btmc stop trolling, please. Okay, we're getting right into it. John Porler having more brain cells than Ed wasn't on my bingo card. You could tell he was not on that. Even when Ed asked, he said, yeah, it's pretty cool. And when Ed is going on his schizo rant, you can even see further he is not on it, bro. Funny as well when he was on the post mentioning its upvotes, John Porler then upvoted it. Interesting. I just feel really sad, honestly. I'm going to assume in good faith that toromivana isn't cheating. Even ignoring the PP value, this score is something that I can't do. Many people can't do. And the score is boring because there are others that can do this. If one of my friends that got into the game just set their first 100 PP, I don't think I would shit on them because, oh, like 100,000 other people can do this. This feels like blatant toxicity in a way I never seen from this man. Someone who I and many others look up to. I know he's trying to get canceled as a bit, but genuinely, for the health of the community, knock it off. That's valid. It gets even funnier when you realize that the Toromi is the only active player that can realistically pull this wall. The score is beyond fucked. I don't even see how one could see it as boring. Makes no sense. I'd like to mention Informus' thread on this too. Here's some of my thoughts. In 2018 to early 2019, when I was popping off, I would beat others' speed scores with noticeably worse act. People commented on this sometimes a bit too harshly. No hard feelings, especially nowadays. But it was depressing to hear that my scores were worse because of it every single time it happened. Because of it every single time it happened. He's referring to the accuracy, beating scores with worse accuracy, right? To have something you're proud of, something you grinded for, to be put down like that is never a good feeling. Doesn't matter if it's said by people who will never replicate it. Btmc, I respect you as a player. I love watching your speed progression over time. I would lurk every now and then and think, oh, he's like 5 BPM faster than last time. Awesome. Imagine if I came into the stream and told you that other people can do what you can do. Stop trying. What a fucking annoying prick I would be, right? There's plenty of 1,000 PP scores in the game. Why are you doing a farmathon? The scores won't even be unique anyways. Wow, who would ever want to talk to this guy again? Who knows? Who cares? Maybe I'm taking all of this too seriously. Maybe I just don't get it. All I'm saying is that you need to grow up, man. Stop being this immature prick that you so badly want to be. It isn't funny. It isn't cute. It's annoying. If this is your method of getting canceled, it's pathetic. If it's rage bait, it's sad. If this is your genuine thoughts, I hope you get better soon. That's fair. I agree with that. Let's see. In reply to this thread, between this and his constant the vision thing going on, to me, Btmc seems to hate the way the game is being played nowadays and is trying his hardest to convince other people that it is bad. Like he tried with Bubbleman, and every time someone in his chat does not agree with his takes. Like, I get it. I was around when the game was simpler, and now I watch all those 300 plus BPM plays to a point where I can't even really tell what is hard or not anymore. But you gotta get with the times. You just can't be doing this. I understand how someone can come to that conclusion. And it's my responsibility to make sure that that I take responsibility for my words. That's true. What else? Even if Btmc is rage baiting, it's still sad to see him fall off like that, especially as the biggest Osu content creator. Yeah, it's sad he's having to resort to rage baiting to retaining an audience. Damn. My biggest confusion is how he's willingly disparage a new top speed player, but go out of his way to defend John Porler and support him as much as possible throughout his streaming career. My confusion is more so just like, if you know what it's like to receive backlash at the start of your career, then why the fuck would you be this spiteful towards a new top player? If you're desensitized to the scores, then there's a myriad of ways to express that instead of resurrecting the mathy hate train. I don't know why he even bothers reacting to scores when it's been clear that he is desensitized. That's true. That's a good point. Btmc reactions really peaked at the first one, dude. Shout out Vivid Sky. Shout out to Vivid Sky. Btmc downfall was not on my 2025 bingo. Damn. Even if toromivana is cheating, Ed is being crazy disrespectful for nothing and is continuing his recent decision to try his best to get canceled for whatever reason. I have no idea what his thought process is, but he keeps bringing up getting canceled this year, and it's stupid as fuck. I hear you. Every time I watch Btmc react to some play nowadays, he's always has either a negative or an uncaring reaction. What's the point of even watching plays then if you're going to tell everyone that every play is boring? He keeps saying, this score is not unique, so why should I care? But if you think about it, it's super hard to have unique scores nowadays when so many people are talented in this game. Also, how many unique scores does Btmc have? He has 0 first place ranks and all of his top plays are already FC'd by someone else. He's been doing his farmathon thing and he's really struggling to set new top plays. It just feels like he's completely burnt out from the game, and instead of Osu being fun, it's more like a chore to him. Maybe his super high standards are killing his motivation when he fails to meet them? I don't know. Anyway, I unsubbed to his Clips channel a few weeks ago. It's just too much drama and negativity for my liking. I respect that. That's dope. Btmc being annoying and out of touch part, big number. Happens. Someone fixed the clip to be actually funny and watchable. I definitely can't play this, but I know there are other players who definitely has showcased this level of skill before. And so the thing is, what gives me a reason to care about this specific player being able to do this, right? Well, there is no reason unless I know the player. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But the thing is, I'm not going to get invested in a player unless I know them. You know? I don't even know if this guy is legit or not. Why should I care about his... I definitely can't play... Beautiful. Well done. Vertex Gamma. The best. I know he's trying to be himself, however, there's a line between being yourself and being a dickhead, and I genuinely believe Btmc is not a dickhead, but let's be real. The only reason he thinks this play is boring is because toromivana is a newer player. If Eterna did this today, he would be reacting so hard. That's a fair assumption. Btmc downfall was in my 2025 bingo. This is completely unrelated to the Btmc Clips channel, but has basically devolved into nothing but negativity pretty recently. Don't believe me, and I think this clip is just a one-off. Here's a clip of him reacting to a video comparing Robtop, Geometry Dash's dev, to Peppy with no bias. Notice how Ed repeatedly gets mad at the video creator whenever he compliments Robtop on literally anything, also leaving a very childish comment afterwards. Robtop versus Peppy, who's the better game dev? We'll take his word for it. I think I did do that, so I think that's a fair assessment. Oh, wait, there's one timestamp specifically. 8:43 in the video. Genuinely, what the fuck is he doing? 8:43. Oh, fuck me. I'm on my speedrun profile. Did you get paid by Rob to suck him off or something? What the fuck is this video? Actual professional glazer. What the hell? Half the shit he said about Peppy isn't even true. Interesting. Yeah, I think that's fair. That comment that I made, not appropriate. All right, last link. How brain dead do you have to be? Score right now. This got to be like a crazy score, right? So let's take a look. Is the score actually interesting? Do you find the score interesting?
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
How the fuck? It's boring as shit. It's just 300 ppm streams. Everyone fucking does 300 ppm streams nowadays. This is boring. Thank you. Score right now. Yeah. That looks pretty bad. All right. Let's take a look what else is going on. Btmc's response about the toromivana situation. I never downplayed the skill set. They asked for my opinion, and I said my opinion. I'm an expert on my opinion. When I see speed play number, big number, it is my opinion that the play is pretty boring. I've seen many other plays like it. It doesn't stand out to me. I'm not impressed. I do care about my own progress. Speed is something I'm working to improve at, and I'm working every day to get better at it. I play for myself and celebrate my own achievements. I don't need the validation of others to be happy with my scores. I'd like to believe speed players don't need my opinion to be happy with their scores either. Let's see what people think. I made this literally earlier while making lunch. TLDR, I don't care. If I really didn't care, I wouldn't comment on it, would I? I'm not sure if I agree with this. I definitely don't agree with this. I do care. Btmc forgetting that many Osu players, including some top players, look up to him and are also young as fuck. Feel like the Matthew hate train in 2018 is a good example of how demoralizing these takes can be. I don't know if I should be too surprised. Someone can correct me if I'm wrong about this next part, because if I recall correctly, sometime in August 2020, when BoxBox was playing Osu actively, Btmc kind of shat on Emrek being a one-trick player while giving BoxBox improvement tips. Yeah, Emrek proved everyone wrong over the years, but at the time he was young as fuck and took the opinions of everyone calling him a one-trick personally. And not everyone can handle that when they expect praise for their skill. I think he forgets that many people in this community love him, and when he's giving this hyperbolic take diminishing someone's scores, it actually has some influence to it. That's true. I did do this. When Emrek was first rising up, I did not really look into Emrek as a player because all I saw was scores that were just DT aim. And so I didn't really start paying attention until he started improving at other skill sets. That is true. He is really willing to die on this hill, lol. Let's read the rest of the comments. When I see a play that only one player can do, I'm not that impressed. If he was set by Marami, he would bust as soon as the play starts. The B in Btmc stands for bait. It's not about the play is impressive or not, it is. It's about the disrespect and disregard he has for other players in the community as a whole. He is on his right to not like a play and not care about it. But if you're already going out of your way to react, at least watch the thing before calling it boring and saying it's just another generic format. On top of that, if he always complains about not wanting to watch replays, why doesn't he tell chat to stop sending him plays and just stop reacting? In the end, he's just going to look at the screen with a poker face for 4 minutes, so why even bother? It really pains me because Btmc was one of the people who inspired me to get on this game, and now seeing him spread so much negativity towards the community I became a part of is incredibly hurtful. I don't know what's been happening for the past months. Maybe Ed hit his head in the shower. Him constantly repeating 2025 is the year I get canceled. That's not something to be proud of. His content has been decaying in quality, and Ed seems to have lost the thing he had for this game and community. It's really sad to see. I hear you, Kyle Milgrow. I hear you. There's a difference between having a dislike for a score and finding it a bit boring and generic, which this score isn't, by the way. And flat out shitting on the score and the player for 5 minutes in front of thousands of people, he could have easily left it as, I totally understand how difficult this score is to set and impressive display for skill, but for me, it's not really entertaining. But meh, 24-year-old man-child with a brain-dead fan base isn't going to care because his viewer count probably won't change at all, and he just made 5 figures from subs for a farmathon he started while having pre-existing hand issues, knowing he will never be able to compete. But anyway, as Btmc always says, huge nothing burger, shit response. That's fair. Thank you. You're stupid 99. All right. I think I have a general sentiment of what people are upset about. Again, chat, I'm coming in from a perspective of I just woke up. So I'm still getting the context. All right. Before I comment on it any further, is there any other context that you guys feel like I should know? Because I think it's important. Marami's comment. Edward, I know this isn't your heart. We can still go back to not knowing ball instead of not knowing. We can still go back to not knowing ball instead of not knowing ball and also farming outrage. What happened to us? I miss us at Btmc Live. Am I dumb? What does this mean? Am I understanding this correctly, in which he's saying, this is uncharacteristic of me. We can go back to the days where you didn't know how to appreciate this stuff and didn't say anything, instead of you not knowing how to appreciate this stuff and farming the outrage. Am I understanding that correctly? He's saying you're rage baiting and you fell off. I see. Check clip comments.
Yeah, you spend a lot of time on each.
All right, this was posted last night. I'm not sure what time, but it says 1 day ago. Waiting till Ed actually reads the chat and realizes that toromivana is literally the only person on the planet capable of setting this score right now. I haven't watched the clip, actually. 600 dislikes. That's a lot. Low-key, every new BTMC take about either PP score posts or something to do with current top players gets worse and worse every clip. He is so unbelievably out of touch that he thinks this shit is doable by any more than 3 people in the world. Maybe the farmathon was a bad idea. Wow, this is actually the most brain-dead video I've ever watched. I think I lost brain cells watching this. These clips are getting harder and harder to watch, man. I get he's being more unfiltered about things now, and I respect that, but this was genuinely super painful. How can you call this score boring when it's literally a 315 BPM stream map that scores was set by, if legit, the current best speed player in the world? Weak ass mindset, man. Peaked 5 years ago, I'd probably be mad too. Honestly, don't care about Osu anymore and share a lot of the scores don't excite me mentality, but Ed is so rude for no reason, even I was offended. Never seen so much hate in the comment section. Happy to see the community still strong and doesn't mindlessly follow whatever this guy's doing. How can you even call this score boring? The entire clip made me so sad. Ed and this other guy are being so mean. I don't think John Porter was that mean. I don't know if the guy is legit or not, but it doesn't really matter in this case because they are reacting to the play itself. And holy shit, those streams are crazy, no? It seems like the entire point is Ed is making is every top play looks fast and it's boring. But how the fuck is it boring if the plays are so fast and insane that you can't even get close to passing maps those people FC/nearing FC? Isn't the entire point of improving in Osu is getting faster and playing harder maps? I guess that depends on the skill set, but overall. If this guy is actually legit, just imagine him watching a clip of the biggest Osu content creator calling his play boring after nearly FCing. 315 BPM, 10.85 star map. I miss the days of he's over streaming. What happened to the Ed we all loved, man? Downplaying the best speed score of all time, what are we doing? Are you sure you even like this game anymore? Downplaying aim slop is one thing. Downplaying this just shows your interest in the game is gone. Just quit already. All right. It seems like the consensus is very wide. All right. I think everyone's reactions to this is justified. So here's my response. I should have handled this situation with much more care. Because it's obvious that I missed the mark in terms of factoring in how people feel when I do a reaction score. Because for those of you who are in the stream, I hope that the context was understood. However, in this context, I feel it does send a really bad message, and it's a message that I don't stand by. 100%. Let me first address my tweet. Here's the context. This morning I woke up and I checked my Discord DMs because I was trying to avoid Twitter. Because every time I open Twitter, I start doom scrolling for 5 hours and I never do get anything done. Strawberry sent me this. Hey, Ed, no offense, but the guy saying your speed is like an inbred tortoise with Down syndrome is too funny. I had to use it for a thumbnail. If you're not okay with it, I can change it too. Bro, you can do whatever you want. You need to try to get harder to get canceled, man. This is weak. So I opened up this tweet to figure out what is this inbred tortoise with Down syndrome shit? What the fuck? I opened up the tweet. Btmc, you can't really downplay the entire speed skill set and call it boring and unimpressive to your audience of thousands 24/7 when your speed is similar to an inbred tortoise with Down syndrome. What the fuck? I don't remember downplaying the speed skill set. It's like something that I'm still constantly improving. Like I literally say, like, even on the stream, that I'm trying to improve at 250. You know what I'm saying? Let's see what the context is.
Now, this gotta be like a crazy score, right? So let's take a look. Is the score actually interesting? Do you find the score interesting?
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
How the fuck? It's boring as shit. It's just 300 BPM streams. Everyone fucking does 300 BPM streams nowadays. This is boring.
Ah, I understand the context now. Interesting. Based off of this clip and based off of this comment, I'm like, okay, I'll respond to it. Fuck it. And my response is, I never downplayed the skill set. They asked for my opinion, and I said my opinion. I'm an expert on my opinion. They being John Porler. The most important context here is that this is all a bit of me coaching John Porler to be like me. And what I'm trying to say is that when I'm watching a score, I try to look at who is the player that said it. If it's not a player that I know, I'm not that interested in it. What makes the play unique? In this context, it's a speed map that's 315 BPM. I didn't know it was 315 BPM. I made the assumption that it was 300 BPM. That's wrong. That's bad. And I didn't even look at the play. I wasn't actually watching the play. I was caught up in this bit of trying to coach John Porler for the video of how to react. And I said that the map is piss easy, that anyone can do it, and I obviously got that wrong. That's wrong. I can't even remember looking at the play. That's, I feel like, is important context here. So when I see speed play a billion, it is my opinion that the play is pretty boring. I've seen many other plays like it. It doesn't stand out to me. I'm not impressed. That is true. And for what a lot of people are saying, that I'm desensitized, I'm boring, or I'm bored, or I'm out of touch with the community, I think they're right. The fact of the matter is that I've played this game, and I follow up with this here. I primarily play the game for myself. I started the channel to track my own progress. And for people to come along and to follow my progress, it's a humbling experience, you know? I appreciate people following my progress. With that being said, when people were critical of me, and people were very critical of me when I was first coming up, not only because my scores weren't anything special at the time, we're talking like 2015, 2016, but because my videos that I were uploading were starting to become more in like the content era. As a result, I hyper-focused into this mindset of I'm playing the game for myself. And that's how I've always viewed the game. The thing that sets that apart is when I build a relationship with other people and become interested in their progress. There used to be a time where, yes, I followed the system. If a score had a high PP value, I treated it like the gospel. Nowadays, I feel like I've learned enough about the game to recognize the flaws, and those are my opinions. The flaws in the system, and because of that, I have some opinions that a lot of the community don't share. A lot of the scores I thought were extremely impressive and extremely like groundbreaking for the time, I recognize them as just farm maps now. Like Freedom Dive technically was a Space Stream farm map. But I look back on that moment as like a groundbreaking score, and incredible with this insane story. But I look at, when I'm trying to look at it objectively, which is what I'm trying to do more and more often, I feel that when you break it down, I felt it wasn't that impressive. It made the impressiveness, it sobered me up in a way. So that's what I said here. This is to share my context of my scenario, and that is the foundation of how I operate as a player. I operate by playing this game for myself. I play for my own achievements. I don't actually care whether or not someone feels that my plays are good. Well, I do care. I do care. I do care because it feels nice to get views. It feels nice to be the center of attention. But when I'm strictly talking about my progression as a player, I focus on, am I improving in space streams? Am I improving in snap aim? Am I improving at this BPM? Am I improving at finger control? I see it objectively. What makes things complicated, of course, is the fact that this is now my full-time thing. Now I have to take the views into account. With that being said, I think it is important. The point that I'm trying to get across here is that I share this mindset that the only opinion that I need for my own scores is myself. I don't think other people's opinions should be factored that in. That is also what I believe other players should operate as well. So if there is a scenario in which I'm sharing my opinion of a score and I don't think it's that impressive, I'd like to believe that the person who sees that opinion can have I hope that they believe in themselves enough to not give a shit. Because why should my opinion about them care? This opinion, I feel like, is something that we can talk about. I'm not 100% on, because this is a very selfish mentality. I recognize this is a very selfish mentality. And because of that, I want to open the doors for that mentality to be challenged. Fly as a fly gun. That is exactly it. In the past, okay, fly as a fly gun, for context, says, Ed, you're the biggest Osu content creator. You do realize that. In the past, I have made an extreme effort to censor myself, because I'm afraid of anything that I said or anything that I say to offend or upset some part of the community. And it worked. I'm friends with literally everyone in the community up until now. We'll see. It was extremely rare to find someone who genuinely did not like me, because I never said anything that would upset anyone. I made sure of that. But how that impacted me, yes, the numbers were going up. Yes, videos were getting views. The game even acknowledged me as the face of Osu. But I'm fake. You guys are like, I'm portraying a version of myself that isn't actually me. And I feel like the approach that I changed in 2025 is that if I am genuinely a bad person, I should face the criticism for that. Because what cancel culture does do well is that they address and force me to see a different point of view. And that if I have a value, a belief that should be criticized, I should see the other perspective. And so I made the decision to speak what I feel like is the truth. And if there is a perspective that I'm not taking into account, they should bring it to my attention. It will organically happen. That's just the discourse of Twitter, right? And that will test my beliefs. And I hope that being a person that I'm not genuinely trying to upset people, right? I'm not genuinely trying to, say fuck this person or fuck this skill or et cetera, et cetera. I'd like to believe that I can admit that I'm wrong and move on. In this situation, because of this clip, because of the words that I said, I've upsetted a lot of people in the community. And all of this is ringing on the idea of, do I want to be a, what's the right word for it? Spokesperson. Do I want to be a spokesperson? Like, it's very obvious that my words have influence on the community. But because of that, there's a lot of responsibility that in the past I've shouldered but didn't want. Like, being called the face of Osu all of a sudden gets people's eyeballs and all of a sudden gets people to weigh my words a lot more heavily than I'd like. Because when I'm on the stream, I'm just having fun. You know what I'm saying? I'm just me doing me. But when my channels grew and as this title was placed upon me, I felt this immense pressure to silence parts of myself in order to, not offend people. When I say that 2025 is the year I get canceled, what I'm trying to say is that I'm placing a bet on myself to hope that when I do make mistakes, I can grow from them. When I make mistakes, I can understand why the mistake that I made is a mistake, understand the perspective of people who were upset by that mistake, and grow and improve as a result of that. See, if you didn't tweet anything and just went live and spoke just as you have, it would have been a lot better. There's like so many different layers to it. This response right here is one of those core beliefs, okay? One of those core beliefs that I feel like should be debated, because this is actually how I operate. And if this is a terrible thing, then I feel like I should face the criticism. I should understand the perspectives that are upset by this, and I should change for the better. My opinion is that, or my core belief is that when it comes to a score, I obviously care about my own scores, but I don't care about I don't care about others' opinions on my scores. As a result, if I have an opinion on someone else's score, it shouldn't matter what my opinion is. That person, ideally, in my belief, should be playing for themselves. I should have just read this. I don't need the validation of others to be happy with my scores. I like to believe other speed players don't need my opinion to be happy with their scores either. That is my core belief that I'm showing to the world and asking, is that right? Is that right? Now, here's the thing. Even if, now I talked with some of my roommates about this, right? Like earlier while I was like making food and stuff, right? I mentioned like this is like my belief, right? And Will Stetson was the first person to come up to me like, Ed, you're a fucking idiot. And I think he brought up a really good point. Because it doesn't matter about like, do you need the validation of others? Of course not. Like, obviously anyone can say their own opinion. But it doesn't change the fact that it's a fucking dick move. It doesn't change the fact that this fucking clip,
We're right now. This gotta be like a...
I'm being a fucking asshole. And he's right. He's 100% right. And I'm sorry for that. I'm sorry for the people who saw this clip and I'm sorry for the people who saw this clip with the expectation of me celebrating this achievement, which that's what it should be. I built this brand on celebrating the achievements of myself and later on celebrating the achievements of others. And what I did here in this clip was take the narrative away from this celebration and turn it more into a belittlement. And that's wrong. That's wrong. I can still have my opinion of I don't think this score is cool, or I don't think the score is that cool or impressive or speed plays XYZ. I can have that opinion. That foundational core belief is not being, violated. But I don't have to be an asshole about it. And I think that's the most important part. With that being said, I'm not going to take any of my tweets down. I'm not going to take any of my videos down. I think the criticism that the community has against me is valid, and I want there to be documentation of it. I want people to know that I make this mistake, and I'd like to hope that in the months and years moving forward, that I'll earn the respect of the people that I've lost that respect for through my actions moving forward. With that being said, I would like to, if you will, I would like to talk about a sort of like, let me draw it out. I'm so sorry. Chat. There is the Btmc drama that's here, right? This is one layer. However, in a layer above, there's my core beliefs, right? So there's the core beliefs. These are my core beliefs. And so in the layer above that, there's this idea of 2025 is the year I get canceled. And then in the layer above that, there is what I want to talk about now. So we just discussed the drama. The drama is built on top of my core beliefs, okay? The core beliefs are challenged and debated through me being more transparent and speaking my truth and accepting that hopefully I can take the criticism, understand where I'm genuinely wrong, and change for the better. But why do all of this? Why do I do all of this? That's the question. That's what I want to answer right now. The reason why I'm doing all of this is because I want to continue making Osu content. But if I continue making Osu content in the way that I did before, I would burn out and quit. I hated censoring myself, living in fear, thinking that if I were to tweet literally anything, there would be a community of people who would be upset, try to dig up shit against me and cancel me. That mentality ate away at me for years. Okay? And I knew I was getting burnt out because I wasn't able to express myself the way that I wanted to. Let's think of that as an extreme. Okay? Let's think of this as a gradient, okay? On one side, which is 2016, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, all the way until 2025, okay? This was brand safe ed. Never tweeted, ever. Never said anything controversial. Never extreme censorship. Quick to apologize if anything, if literally anyone is offended. Okay, this is where I used to be. But the problem with that was that I felt like shit. I felt fake. I felt like I was putting on a mask and showing a version of myself that I'm not. Burnout. Okay? Right now, we are currently in, let's call it, crash out ed. Say anything that's on my mind. even if it's stupid. Engage in discourse. Twitter. To fan the flames. Shamelessly farm it for views. Because drama equals views. But here's the part that I've never told people. I still feel like shit. I don't like being in controversy. I don't have the heart for that. Like, when I talk with people, when I was talking with Will, I'm like shaking. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm addressing a part of myself that I built myself on. You know what I'm saying? Like, fuck what anyone else thinks. This is my opinion. You're mad at me for my opinion? Just move the fuck on. You don't have to listen to my opinion. Like, that's a core belief that I genuinely believe in. And people are upset at that? Do I want that as my audience? You know what I'm saying? Like I still feel like shit. I don't like being disliked. Who would have thought? Like, when people say they don't like me, I feel bad. It's a distraction to what I genuinely want to do in the community. Things like, okay, shameless plug. The Level Up Expo Roundtable Open event. Will people see my behavior and make the option, okay, I don't want to go to this event because Ed is being a fucking idiot? It's putting the things I do genuinely care about into question. And then there are my friends. Because my friends are genuinely starting to get concerned. I woke up this morning to a lot of DMs of people asking like, yo, are you okay? And I don't want to worry my friends. That's it. So, here's where we are at right now. Here's where I used to be. The reason why I'm going through all of this, the 2025 is the year I get canceled arc, is because I'm hoping to find somewhere in the middle where I can shut the fuck up about opinions that no one wants to hear, that don't serve the community, that don't benefit the game at all, that only looks bad, etc., etc. But I can still express myself and be passionate about the things I do care about. My goal in 2025 is to find where to draw the line. I don't know where to draw the line currently. All right? I'll have to figure that out. But I'm glad that there are people who are here to hold me accountable. Because what I'd like to believe is that, like, the foundational thing under here is that if I'm wrong, I must admit that I'm wrong and change and show the change for the better. This is the biggest gamble, okay? My reputation, my channel, my employment rests on this, of me recognizing where I'm wrong and changing for the better. Because I don't want to be a bad person. However, if there are traits about me that are genuinely bad, I'd like to address them now and become a better person over time. So, with that being said, I'm thankful to the community. I'm thankful for the community for holding me accountable, for having this discussion, for putting me on blast, because I'd like to believe, and this is my opinion, I'd like to believe that the reason why there's so much discussion around it is because they want to see me as a force for good. You know? Like, if no one cared about my position in the community, who would care if I said something stupid? Because the way that I actually fall off is when people stop talking about me and stop supporting this channel and stop watching the views or stop watching the clips. That's how this channel actually dies. People saying that, oh, you fell off, it still hurts. I read those. I'm starting to believe some of it is a joke because I see literally the first two comments are like 2 views in 1 minute, bro fell off comments. And I'm like, I see this so often, it has to be a joke, right? I don't even know where they're even getting that from. But with that being said, I'd like to look at the score again. I mentioned it earlier, but I wasn't actually watching the score. All the shit that I said was on assumptions, trying to make a bit with John Porler, coaching him how to react. Okay, JP's going to kill me for this, but he's making a video titled, I'm not going to say it, never mind. You guys probably already know what the video is going to be. You know what I'm saying? So, like, all of the things that I said were in the context of trying to be funny for his video. However, that still doesn't change the fact that what I said, it's just being an asshole. Like, I'm sure if toromivana likely saw this shit and felt bad. And I don't want him to feel bad. It's real. With that being said, I like to actually look at the score and actually understand what makes it impressive. So let's take a look. Anyone got the link? Will was also like putting me on blast for this. Like, Ed, out of all the fucking scores you could have crashed out on, why literally crash out on the best speed score of all time? And I'm like, really? I don't remember it. Oh, it's because I never watched it. I was, etc., etc. So let's take a look. toromivana 019. Aether, Elements, and Tail of Fire, Descendants of Flame, 10.85 stars, almost 11 stars, with Nightcore instead of DT, 94% accuracy, that's kind of tough, but 7 misses, 1300 PP, 1800 FFC. Bro was 7 misses away from an 1800 PP score. Let's take a look. Wait, is this the start of the play, or... Okay, I'm just gonna assume this is the start of the play. Also, I just realized, is that the fucking Adidas logo as the hit circle? What is this skin? His slider ball is an Adidas logo. Chat, this is 315, right? $315? Is it $315 the entire way through? Oh shit. Whenever I look at speed scores, I like to look at the unstable rate bar. What the fuck? He paused? Wait a second. Chat! New hot take! Well, I've said this before. If you pause in the replay, your score is less appealing. It's whatever. Oh, what the fuck? That's where he missed? He missed on nothing. I'm like darting my eyes up and down between the gameplay and the unstable rate. Like I'm trying to understand like when this dude like drops accuracy, what is happening? You know what I'm saying? Wait, they just turned off the leaderboard. He's locking in. He glanced at that. Oh, what the? He's shaking. Oh, fuck. All right, chat. Petition to remove all jumps from stream maps. Chat, the jumps don't even matter, right? This would be 1800 even without the jumps, right? Just remove the jumps. Just remove jumps from stream maps. You would have an 1800. What is this applause sound? Anyways, I am actually like happy that this map doesn't look like. Okay, there are different what do you call it? There are different tiers to farm maps. You know what I'm saying? There's like very obvious, like shameless, like short drain time, very like let's say overmapped, etc. farm maps. And then there are maps that are like extremely not farm, that is long as fuck, multiple difficult sections, marathons, has one pattern that is impossible to FC no matter what, ever, etc. This one kind of leans more in like the middle, where like there are streams, there are bursts, there are triples. Like this obviously is a test of finger control. It's not just speed. It's a test of finger control, which makes it much more impressive. The jumps, remove jumps from stream maps. Thank you, etc. But yeah, it's pretty cool. The DT leaderboard is literally like the ATH-LB when you reacted to that. What is ATH? When I see ATH, I think all-time high. Check the leaderboards. Double time. Okay. I'd like to take this with a grain of salt. Okay? I know that. Okay, listen. I like to take it with a grain of salt because I don't know how other speed players would perform on it. I'm not saying that this isn't impressive. I just feel like that there could be more context included. Maybe there's some speed players who haven't grinded this map yet. You know what I'm saying? Check HDDT. Oh, what the fuck? Nyan Potato has a C rank? Lifeline has a C rank? Evoxa has a fucking C rank too? And this dude just shits out 94? Okay, that's actually fucking crazy. Okay, that's crazy. That's fucking crazy. Wait, what the fuck? Wait, that was 14 minutes ago. Is he playing right now? Wait, no, this is January 2024. 14M. What does 14M mean? Oh, this is 14 months ago. All right, that's crazy. Context given, opinion accepted. Listen, chat, sometimes you gotta spell it out for me. Come on. Check toromivana's top plays. He is legit the best speed player in the game. Unfortunately, I don't think I understand the difficulty of speed enough to really like be able to appreciate it that well. So, I mean, we can still take a look. True about Osu. This kind of seems like some shit out of Madoka Magica. Best performance, Age of Tyranny, Elements of Tail and Fire, Snow Goose, Over the Top. Valley of the Damned. What is this map? I don't even think I know this. Oh wait, just kidding. I saw the score post for this. Anyways, chat, unfortunately, I don't know enough about the speed game in order to have any valid opinion on it, or opinion to share. Let's just say that. Opinion from an expert. My opinion, as a top speed player, no one in this game right now can get even close to that toromivana score. It requires 310 stamina plus finger control, which no one except Toro has. Maybe Saito if he full D-rest and doesn't die from RSI. Damn. Chat, this is set up perfectly for like... Chat, we need more Osu documentaries, okay? I'm talking like the quality of like samifying, all right? We need someone to like analyze and like get the top players to bring into context so that people like me can understand why these scores are fucking crazy. You know what I'm saying? Serbia Chucker says, what I don't get is why crashing out on own opinion. I agree, the score is fucked up and amazing. But that just doesn't mean you have to hate on someone for their opinion on expecting that this is doable in the future somehow. A good example is Marami. Sure, hating on the score is maybe not the best way to react to score, but hating on the person for their own opinion, calling him R-word or literally going full hate mode is just crazy. It's fine. It's fine. Listen. People, if I want to change people's impression of me and reactions of me and like discussion about me, then I need to change my actions. It's all good. Toromivana was a 4-digit 1 year ago, which is crazy. Now that's insane. Wait, chat. Has Toromivana... Is it weird to speculate at this point? Does anyone have a live play for this dude? There too? Dude, come on, man. Toromi228. ATHDTHR. Live play. Damn. We don't get to see the technique. So wait, have the analysts already looked at this? Because again, I don't know shit about like cheaters or what makes a place suspicious. He's doing the Ninarek technique. I'm learning it too, and it's so good, no joke. What is the Ninarek technique? Okay, he definitely is not double tapping, so we can rule out DKS. Is there even DKS on the Wooting or on the Seiya device? It's like a horse technique, like a horse galloping. I still can't get over the Adidas logo, bro. I want to see this dude's ultra boost. Oh wait, this is Ascension to Heaven. Wait, that's what ATH is. Oh my fucking god, dude.
I got timed out for some man's shoe.
Okay, it took me that long to understand. My bad. Should name this video Technique for 1 million views. What?
Mr. Quackalot, you were gifted a tier 1 sub to Enzo_Supercrafts.
This video has 5.8 million views? I remember watching this video too. How the fuck does this have 5.8 million views? Doing this without rapid trigger is crazy. Yeah, man, it's a different time. Check closer look of Toromivana live play. Damn, he started with his index, with his middle finger on that one. Oh shit, it even has the pen overlay! Wait, chat, how does someone actually make this? This is cool as fuck. Well, I don't know about you guys, but I don't see anything. I don't see any smoking gun here, bro. So this guy is actually just that fucking good. Within a year, goes from 4-digit to 2-digit, and just set the best speed score of all time. The only thing suspicious about him is just how fast he improved. Like, doing this in 1 year is literally unheard of. What the fuck? It's kind of wild. Basel Stetson post. What is this? If Toromivana is unimpressive, I say Emmerich might have potential one day. Chat, I will never live this moment down. All right, this will follow me for the rest of my career. Okay, chat. What happens on the internet stays on the internet. All right, it's okay. Your whole drama was just you clicked on the wrong score to make a bit. Pretty much. I mean, it still doesn't change the fact that, like, I should be more mindful when I am looking at other people's scores because I have a platform and because I shouldn't use other people as a butt of a joke. Like, straight up. Like, I understand that now. If all you care about is views, then sure. I joke about, like, oh, it's for the views and shit, but chat, I don't need views. I really don't need it. I'm not the personality trait that loves all the attention, if that makes any sense. It is heavily kept in check by the fact that I do need views in order to have a job. Which makes it slightly complicated, but I'm not the personality trait for that. You're obsessed with views and content? I'm obsessed with making the best Osu content possible. And I'm constantly like kicking myself because I think my content can always be better. Yeah. As I said before, I will stay in Ed Glazer. I watched this man grow up and I watched this man while I was growing up. I want you to be careful about that. I do appreciate where you're coming from, okay? And I appreciate your faith in me. But if I genuinely do something fucked up, I want you to leave. Do not support me. If I genuinely do something wrong, leave. Do not support what you believe are bad decisions made by me.